Why had she said that thing about the star? Why did dusk and fir scent and the afterglow of autumnal sunsets make people say absurd things? She turned her face upward to the sky between the swaying fir tops, and he saw the reflection of a star in her eyes. Lucy Maud Montgomery.
Audio Adventure Theater presents to you This Girl Like a Pencil Scrawl, based on short stories by Renee Thiessen, starring Elizabeth Thiessen as the narrator. Story 3, A Story.
Class dismissed.
Finally. I wish I'd had time for a shower this morning. I quickly made my way out of the classroom.
If I could just make it to my car and avoid eye contact, my morning would surely be ideal. Yes, it was one of those days.
Kate!
Hoping I had simply imagined my name among the confusion of voices around me. I pulled my backstrap more securely on my shoulder and continued.
Kate!
Recognizing that human contact was inevitable, I braced myself with a friendly smile and turned to see Maddie Paul coming my way.
So, I am sorry to bother you, but is there any way I could catch a ride to the dorms? My car died as soon as I got to campus this morning, and will be in the shop for a couple days.
Oh, I'm sorry, of course. No problem.
Thanks.
I really didn't mind, and of the friends I'd made in the first month of my college experience, Maddie was one of the sweetest. So, I tucked away the self-consciousness I felt on account of my greasy hair and the ostentatious heels I had already regretted choosing to wear that morning, and drove Maddie back to Hopkins Hall. Driving in heels isn't even legal. Wow, Kate. I pulled up to another red light, and the silence in the vehicle led me back to pondering my many unfortunate decisions that morning. I glanced over at Maddie and noticed she didn't look awkward at all. She was looking at the mountains with a wistful expression. I envied her obviously peaceful and pleasant thoughts. I took my hands off the wheel and squeezed the knuckles of my left hand nervously, as I had gotten into the habit of doing lately.
They call those mountains the Three Sisters. Isn't that interesting?
Really? Yes, very fascinating. Oh,
The light is green, Kate.
so sorry. I was distracted by your mountains.
What are you doing this afternoon?
Go back. Probably break down and cry as soon as the door is shut. Shower away my sorrow and then sleep off the headache that crying will bring. Perfect. I'll probably sleep. I've been studying pretty late this week. How about you?
Well, I leave for work at 2:30, but I think I'm going to have a picnic first. It's just the kind of day that demands for a picnic. Would you like to join me?
Sure, I'll join you. The moment I had said the words, I wished very much I hadn't, and hated myself for being so terrible at saying no. In fact, utterly unable to say the word no. It's a simple 2-letter word, Kate. N-O. Why can't you say that word when you mean it with all your heart? Stupid people pleaser. But the fact was, I had said yes. But perhaps I had reason. Perhaps it was because I was lonelier than I cared to admit, and the prospect of being with Maddie a little longer made me feel better. Perhaps the old me still had a silly affection for picnics and sunny days and simple pleasures. Or maybe because the sun hat hanging on the wall beside my dresser would make my ugly hair of little consequence. Regardless of motive or lack of motive, I joined Maddie for her picnic that September afternoon, and I will forever be grateful to God for that decision. I'm sure my forehead was very wrinkled as I lay on Maddie's rather ugly, rather old picnic blanket, which was stitched into a pattern resembling half-eaten red apples pouring out of green baskets. It was the second picnic for which I had joined the dear girl. The sky wasn't quite as sunny as last time. The ground was a little damp. The tree we lay under looked a little resentful at being chosen for the task of sheltering us. Sheltering us from what? I don't know. Perhaps the rain that would certainly come. Hey, Maddie.
Yeah, Kate?
You probably got the impression that I hate talking. But the truth is, when I'm upset, I just don't talk. I don't know why I was upset last time. I just was. And I promise I love talking, and I feel bad, but please forgive me because I'm not that rude, I promise.
Kate, don't be so silly. I literally don't mind at all. Sometimes I like silence a lot better than talking. And anyways, I got to write a poem while we were sitting there. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Well, first off, it's nothing. It's really nothing.
Just read it.
Gold melts red, and green leaves drop dew. Sky clouds drift, the world dawns anew. Wrinkled brow embedded with seeking thoughts, eyes too lost to dream amid tangled ropes and knots. Seeking paradise was never this close before. Her heart is leaping already to that foreign shore.
Eyes too lost to dream. It's so pretty. I like it.
Well, I don't think it's done. It's only a beginning, but thank you.
It's pretty, but I don't really understand it.
It's poetry. You're not supposed to.
That's false. What's the point of writing something pretty if people don't understand it? Good writing has meaning.
It does have meaning, but it's not my responsibility to interpret it to you. You may get something totally different out of something you read than the next person, but that's okay. Many writers leave their readers to interpret their writing however they like.
Well, what does it mean to you?
I don't know. Obviously, it's not finished.
You wrote of paradise. What paradise was she seeking?
When I read it, I think the paradise my character is seeking must be the same paradise I seek. Kate, how do you define paradise?
Paradise? Paradise is perfection, I guess. Everything I dream of and more. Like all the splendid things in the world that I don't know about but would dream of if I did. I guess that's how I would define paradise. Or how I would have. I don't really do much dreaming anymore. And you, Maddie? What's your paradise?
Any moment God is near, to me, is paradise.
She lifted her head and I saw in her eyes that inexplicable expression I'd noticed often. As if she knew something I didn't, and as if she read me, you know, like a book. I think there must have been a gust of wind blowing from the parking lot. I
felt a tear or two tickle my eyelashes as I picked up my tea once again, wishing I had been the spiritual one.
In a story by Renee Thiessen, dramatized for audio by Caleb Thiessen, you heard Elizabeth Thiessen as Kate, and Elizabeth Coates as Maddie. The program was produced by Caleb Thiessen. The music was created by Hannah Thiessen. And I am Alvin Costello. This Girl Like a Pencil Scrawl by Renee Thiessen was brought to you by Audio Adventure Theater. Be sure to check out our website at audioadventuretheater.blogspot.com.